The tragic news of the catastrophic implosion of the Titanic submersible, Titan, has upset people around the world. Many were hoping against hope that the missing sub would be found and the five explorers would be safe and alive. Among the many who were sad and disappointed is Hollywood filmmaker James Cameron. James claims that he knew that the missing sub would end up in disaster but regrets that he did not give them a warning. The sinking of the Titanic ship, in which more than 1,400 people died, captures the imagination of people even a century after it sank. Hollywood filmmaker James Cameron immortalized the so-called unsinkable ship of 1912 through his film Titanic. Since then, there has been an increased curiosity among explorers to visit the wreckage site of the Titanic ship and explore more about the doomed ocean liner. However, a recent trip to the Titanic's wreckage site turned into a disaster. On Sunday, June 18th, the submersible named Titan, along with five explorers, was on its descent to the Titanic's wreckage site 12,500 feet underwater. However, it lost contact with the surface vehicle 1 hour and 45 minutes into its descent. When the submersible failed to return to the surface, US and Canadian ships and planes started to look for the vessel. In the early hours of today, the US Coast Guard broke the shattering news that the missing submersible had been destroyed in a catastrophic implosion and all the five explorers had been killed. However, filmmaker James Cameron, who had explored the particular site 33 times, suspected a disaster right away. The acclaimed filmmaker spoke to BBC, and this is what he had to say. "I felt in my bones what had happened. Their communications were lost and navigation was lost. And I said instantly, you can't lose communications and navigations together without an extreme catastrophic event or highly energetic catastrophic event. The first thing that popped to my mind was an implosion. We got confirmation within an hour that there had been a loud bang at the same time that the sub communications were lost. A loud bang on the hydrophone, loss of transponder, loss of communications. I knew what happened. The sub imploded." The filmmaker drew parallels to the doomed ocean liner and said that many in the ocean exploration community were worried about Titan. He said, "I am struck by the similarity of the Titanic disaster itself, where the captain was repeatedly warned about ice ahead of his ship, and yet he steamed at full speed into an ice field on a moonless night, and many people died as a result. And for a very similar tragedy, where warnings were unheeded, to take place at the same site, with all the diving that's going on all around the world, I think it's just astonishing. It's really quite surreal." James Cameron has dived nearly 33 times into the Titanic wrecked site, and sometimes even after he made the film Titanic. Cameron claims that he regrets not flagging Titan's ocean exploration idea as a horrible one. He said, "I thought it was a horrible idea. I wish I had spoken up, but I assumed somebody was smarter than me, because I never experimented with that technology. But it just sounded bad on its face." James became a deep-sea explorer in the 1990s while he was researching for his film The Titanic. He's also a part owner of Triton Submarines, which makes submersibles for research and tourism. Cameron has often spoken about how another major tragedy took place in the world when he was in a deep-sea exploration on the Titanic wreck site. Cameron and several others were thousands of feet underwater when Osama bin Laden struck the Twin Towers in 2001. The filmmaker was unaware of the world's worst terror attack against the US for nearly 12 hours. He had told the press that he was probably the last person in the Western Hemisphere to know about the Twin Tower attacks. The Titan tragedy is a shock for the families of the deceased and ocean explorers. However, it also teaches key lessons for the need for repeated testing.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.